Welcome back. If you're a Cardiff City fan, this is 20 minutes of Cardiff City reviews with Jamie, Craig and Elias. Hope you are doing well. We are recording this directly after the comeback against Reading and discussing just who now needs to start and what have we learnt from that 90 minutes. Hope you're all doing well. Back to the top of the league we go. We're talking about Fish and Lawlor now have to start, the tremendousness of Trott, and we're also discussing this week about chairmen, the good and the bad of Cardiff's history. Be kind at that point, please. If you're just joining us, we've been doing the A to Z of Cardiff City in recent weeks. We're up to now the letter B, and of course we asked AI for the comments as to who should get in here, and Nathan Blake was the person which they suggested for the letter B. Can you do better than that? Join us at the end of the video for that discussion. But great to have you all back. Alice has been holding the fort down for a couple of weeks. Thank you, Alice. But we've got Jamie and Craig back to review that Reading game with him as well this week. Right, Jamie. Some Cardiff fans suggested that wasn't a deserved win. Are they right?
I think we had a good spell, and I think we were clinical in the spell that we had. I thought first half we were very poor. We were at 6s and 7s, I thought, especially defensively. We looked very, very ropey. Whether that was because of individual players or the changing in the back four, I don't know. But I thought Reading were the better side. We were just clinical in the chances we had in that 20-minute spell. And as we've alluded to there in the opening segment, between Trott's brilliance and Will Fish's salmon-like defending on the line, we managed to hold on in the end for the 3 points, which is a big 3 points.
Yeah, let's look at some social media takes. And if you're new to us, we look at some good, some bad, some indifferent views from Cardiff City fans. Craig, here's one from James, who says, it was an improved second half after an abysmal first. He made the right changes, the manager did. Trott, Capaccio and Chambers were excellent, but some of our players are still way off it. I'm not sure we actually deserve to win. We need Robinson back in the squad ASAP, and we're back on this Robinson in, Robinson out debate. Craig, for you, did you deserve to win?
Oh, I don't know. It was very harsh on Reading, I thought, especially after the first half. It was inevitable that we could see it come in. We did get away with one, I think, definitely. We squeaked over. Yeah.
What about this Fish and Lawlor one? Because I know you put a tweet out which said that. We can have a look at it now. It says, so cannot be okay with another game. It has to be Fish and Lawlor if they are all available, and thank goodness for Trott. We're so happy to let the team shoot at goal. It's unbelievable. Lots to unpack there. Fish and Lawlor for you, if available, have to start.
Yeah, it's common sense, really, isn't it? We didn't concede a goal for the first 5 or 6 or however many games, so there's no need to do anything if it's not broken. I mean, just crack on with it. Common sense.
You're not having no show then in this team.
No, he's erratic for me. I can't breathe when he passes the ball. No, he's way too erratic for me.
Right then, let's look at this one then. Ellis, this is also from Craig. Isak made such a difference when he came on. I would never have switched him to the left for Ashford to come on, as he was having so much joy down that side with Capaccio. Do you agree, Ellis? You don't have to, even though he's in the room.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think Isaac Davis, he's so versatile. I think we can play him on the left, we can play him on the right, we can play him in the middle. And he's one of our few kind of pacey players in the team, isn't he? So he brings that a different dynamic to our play. And I would have liked to see him feature more, but with his injury history, I think Brian Murphy's been a bit careful, and we're looking after him a little bit. But no, he's got a deserved call up to the Wales squad as well, and I just think hopefully he can keep kicking on now. And we'll see a few more minutes from him in the future, hopefully.
Just an open discussion to all of you. Where are all of you with Callum Chambers now? I think if we wind the clock back about a month ago on this very channel, we were looking at some tweets from fans saying, okay, he needs dropping now, he needs resting, he's not performing well enough. Although yesterday against Reading, Griff says he was phenomenal against Reading. Lawlor Fish needs to be starting centre backs, but he needs to be in midfield. Was a shout. Just again, what are all your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, well, I think people who, and a lot of us that didn't think Chambers was up to par, I think Osho's taken that limelight off him a little bit now, haven't he? and obviously he was good in that number 6 role for us last season. But it's quite clear that Brian Barry Murphy doesn't see him as a 6. He hasn't played him there once. He sees him there as a centre back. And against Reading, he was decent. I think if it wasn't for him, we might have conceded a few more. But no, I still agree. Lawlor and Fish are starting too. But with him starting in the 6, obviously we saw against Reading him try and put David Turnbull there, and I don't think that really worked. So I think Callum Chambers would have done a better job there to kind of switch in and out with Wintle, because Wintle's played a lot of minutes.
Yeah. You agree, Jamie?
Yeah, I think it's right. I think it's similar to the Osho situation, isn't it? I think Will Fish and Lawlor are concrete at the back. Do we, for legs purposes, put Osho as a 6, for example? Like Craig said, when he's probably facing his own goal, he's very erratic, but he seems good going forward. So do we look at that? But Chambers is club captain, and he hasn't moaned. He's got on with it, isn't he? So yeah, maybe we just keep him as a bit part player just to rotate and make sure that Dylan Lawrence doesn't get any more injuries.
Okay. Finally, Craig, just on the Reading game, Alex says Trott was tremendous. Fish has got to start from now on. Obviously, reiterating what you said. When we played quicker, we scored 2 goals. We've been poor and top, but we have to take that. Just on Trott, I mean, we can't think of any more superlatives. We've spoken about him enough on here, but yeah, if you do go up, is it largely going to be down to he's going to be one of the major reasons why you do get promoted this season?
You think so, judging by the game so far. He saved us so many points already, hasn't he? And it's a good job, really, because we just seem to like having teams pull the trigger. We did when the ball gets cut back to outside the box, we stand off and go on and have a shot. And thank goodness he's as good as he is, really.
Okay. Busy time for Cardiff then coming up. Let's have a look at the next set of fixtures before we got another international break. Elias coming up after the next 4 games. So we've got to go to Bolton in the league this weekend, of course. Then we go to Wrexham in the Cup. Then we go to Peterborough in the FA Cup, and then we go to Blackpool in the league. So we don't actually play back at home at the Cardiff City Stadium till November the 11th now. So 4 away games in 4 different competitions in the next 2 weeks. I mean, that's gonna really test the squad, isn't it?
Yeah, and with the 2 international breaks we've had so far, we never know how we're going to react, because I think we haven't played the same since before the first international break we've had, where we had that really good first 5-6 games. And I think that international break just kind of stalled our momentum. And we haven't really looked the same team since then. But obviously that game against Huddersfield, that's more than likely going to be called off because Wales are playing on the same day. And obviously we'll have probably about 5 players in that squad. So I think the next game after that then is like the end of November. So yeah, it's a long time to go. A lot of games to play, but a lot of away games. But let's just hope we can have more performances like we did against Wigan away.
Yeah. Jamie, do you care too much about the cups? I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you've done well in the League Cup in beating Burnley and so on, but I mean, it's just got to be about promotion from now on, hasn't it?
Yeah. But again, it's not as if we're playing somebody that is enforcing a rivalry, is it? We've got to put there with all the Sky cameras there, and we have to turn up. It's a big game, respectively, now, and naturally the outside noise is going to be on us. But it is a crammed few weeks. Like you said, it's squad depth is something that we probably haven't got an abundance of. But I think it worked out as from stadium to stadiums, 1,560 odd miles, I think. So, it's a lot of mileage to do in the next 2 weeks. And a lot to put on a squad that at times have looked quite leggy during games. So it's just managing it now. And I think that's the biggest test that Brian Barry Murphy's got on his team, is to manage people's minutes and make sure that they, like Dylan Lawlor, doesn't have, possible injuries.
Okay. Will you be going to all 4 of those, Jamie, as a fan?
Yeah, my bank account's already screaming.
Gosh. Dear me. All right. We're talking with chairman this week then, Craig, because you may or may not have noticed that Sheffield Wednesday have been given a winding up order by HMRC this week, which has got us all talking about football regulation. We've got apparently a regulator coming in to kick out dodgy chairmen, and you don't need me to obviously talk about chairman with yourselves because we know how the Cardiff City faithful currently feel about the current one. But do you feel that this regulator in football is long overdue, or do you think it's something that it's just another level of bureaucracy which you don't need?
No, I think it is long overdue. There needs to be something in place, doesn't it? Because you say so many clubs it's happening to, and some are just barely surviving at the time. If you look at Morecambe and teams, and happened so badly over the years. Something has to come into place, I think, to safeguard people really, and teams and fans. Because if the club can't just disappear, can they? And something.
No. Where are you, Ellis, with Vincent Tan now yourself as a fan?
I mean, I think we got to give him credit for. Well, saying that, I was going to say about the appointment for Brian Murphy, but I don't know how much he played a part in that, because obviously we had Wasserman, the agency, in. I feel like things have gone a bit quiet because of our performance in the start of the season. But, I don't know. We're just going to have to see how things go. Obviously, we supposedly came close to a takeover in the summer. But my views on Vincent Tan haven't really changed. Obviously, none of us are going to forget when he made us all red. And I think it'd take a lot to gravel back from that. But no, nothing's changed in terms of my opinion. But I think we've just, it's gone a bit quiet because of the position we're on the table. We're top of the league. And as long as we keep playing good football and we keep winning games, I think it'll stay quiet. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. With this person that's coming in now to review all the owners. I can't remember the word. What was the word?
Yeah, so it's a football regulator that the government is coming in.
Yeah, the regulator. They just need to make sure that people who are buying football clubs and owning football clubs know football. You know what I mean? It's a big problem at the minute where it's just businessmen and people who don't have knowledge of football.
Yeah, there's supposed to be the fit and proper test, isn't there? But I don't know how some of these owners, and the Reading one, I'm sure at the weekend, how he managed to get through that. Right, brilliant from all of you. Finally, then this week, we have been running the A to Z of Cardiff City. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, we did the letter A, and this week we're up to the letter B. So here's how it works: we're looking for a player or a manager or somebody connected with the club with the surname beginning with B, or it could be a stadium or an event. We asked AI, and they came up, of course, with the one and the only Nathan Blake as Cardiff's entry, but can you do better? Put something in the comments. Jamie, any ideas?
I've got two. One being the person just on the screen behind me. I think Bamba is probably one. I won't give my second one because I want to see what the lads are.
Right.
But yeah, Bamba for me. I think it just goes, not just for our club, but in football in general. I think he's,
of course,
a brilliant person. Yeah.
Craig?
I'm going to go Jason Bowen. I think he'd suit football now so much. I think he was a bit before his time. I think if he was playing now as a 10, he'd be brilliant. Jason Bowen.
There's two good shouts here. Ellis?
Sol Bamba's number one. There's no doubt about that. But let's go for, in our troubled history of finding good strikers, I'll go to one of our previous ones in Jay Bothroyd.
Was that yours, Jamie, as well?
Spot on. Spot on.
Okay. I mean, we have to put Bluebirds in as a shout, don't we, as well, as the actual club crest and name and nickname? But yeah, I think we'll have to give it to Sol Bamba there, won't we? For lots and lots of reasons. Yeah, well, Sol Bamba gets in for B. Brilliant. Join us next week then as we come to the letter C. I think this might be a little more straightforward next week for C, but we'll see. We're not allowed to put Cardiff in, by the way, before anybody shouts it out. Join us next week then as we look back on, of course, how the weekend game against Bolton has gone. Let's make Thogden cry, please, and we'll see you in 7 days' time. Thanks for watching.